Good morning. Welcome to Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy and this is my corner of the internet all about cross stitch. I am filming a day early today. It is Saturday, May 3rd. We're going to visit the kid later and I have a fully finished object that I wanted to share with you before we went because I won't have it after we go. It is the kiddo's birthday tomorrow and we're going to go for a visit. So yay. And it's really nice weather. It's finally feeling like spring, but we're in the stage of the year where there's a 40-degree difference during the day. It'll be like in the 30s or 40s in the morning, and then we'll hit the 60s or the 70s in the afternoon. So it's fun to dress. Anyway, welcome back if you're returning, and welcome to all my new subscribers. I hope you enjoy it and that you share what you're working on, comment below, ask questions. Feel free to contact me on my Instagram, which is also Harpy Stitch. I have a Harpy Stitch email at gmail.com. I do have an Etsy shop. I haven't put anything new on there in a long time. One of my goals this summer is to work with my husband on designing some patterns. I'm also going to learn how to do some editing. But let's get into it. So where did it go? It must have fallen down. I just had my fully finished, but it is tiny. Oh, there it is. It fell off the stack and hid behind the stack. So I had been working on this since January 9th. This is the non-binary colorway for the Trans Zebra by Stitchy Rin. It was part of a Pride packet. I was going to finish this as a button to match her husband's Trans Zebra, but, ooh, that is terrible glare. But what happened is that I used a different fabric. So I was going to do one of the metal buttons where it folds over, but I tried it 3 different times and screwed up 3 of the different little backs, like bent them all to hell. So I'm like, this is just not working, and it was totally shredding the fabric, and I know this isn't the prettiest in the back, but I hadn't used one of these little plastic ones with so instead of a button, my kiddo is getting a keychain. So I could not find the fabric that I used for my son-in-law's button. I thought this was almost the same thing, but if you look, you can see it's like an oatmeal, not an Aida, but it's very loose weave, almost a linen. And I was like, I know I put the fabric that I used for the other buttons somewhere so they would match, and I had. Guess where I'd put it? In the button maker kit. So it's like the We Make button maker where you squish the button and then put on the back. So this was the fabric I actually used for his button, and it is a much tighter weave. So for those of you who don't want to make the same idiotic mistake that I just made, make sure that if you're going to use cloth in a button maker, the squishy kind, that it is a fairly tight weave. I think the edges of this were just too flimsy and it kept getting caught in the wrong spots because it wasn't folding around the button like it was supposed to. I think it started to fray too much almost immediately. So I was like, I know I have some of these, and then I couldn't remember where these were, and it turned out I have a little container that has sections in it, like a cardboard box with a handle, that I've put a lot of my little various, like, the little buttons and hooks and random little crap like that in it. And we have an ottoman between our spots in the living room, and we put our tablet computer there, and a lot of times we'll stream stuff from the tablet, or we'll be doing one thing on the tablet and watching one thing on the big TV, or we'll throw on a TV show for me while my husband plays a video game on the big TV. So to lift it up a little bit higher, we put my container that had this in it, and so yeah, it was kind of a frustrating morning, but I persevered, I adapted, and so instead of a button, my kid will get a keychain. I think it looks pretty cute. I should have put the little piece of paper in the back, but I was really afraid that this wouldn't even close with the fabric. So this was also an experiment, and I was terrified it wouldn't work. But it did. So I think the trans zebra and the non-binary zebra, I think Ren did a pan as well. And I think they did an agender. I can't remember. I think there were 3 or 4 colorways. But, I mean, it's really a simple... Sorry, I thought I saw something, but no, that's right. It is really a simple color. I mean, you know, it's just 4 colors. So it's easy to change the muzzle color and the main color and the little stripes. And then you just change the back stitching on the sunglasses to match. So it would be really easy to adapt it to whatever colors you wanted, even if you didn't want to do a pride theme, because I think this zebra is just adorable. So yeah, I had kind of a stressful morning. I wanted to get this done before my floss tube. I'm going to put that over there. I got to remember to put it in her gift bag. And I got to get some more. I got a few little things for them. But I've got to get, I think, at least one more thing. Probably it'll be candy. The kiddo likes candy. I miss the days when they only liked fruit as a treat. So, new starts. So, I've been doing Fandom Central stitching all year. I've been mostly focusing on the weeklies, and then when I finish the weeklies, if I have time, I do a monthly. Usually one of the smaller end monthlies, because some of those monthlies would take me forever with 2 jobs. Maybe I'll get more done this summer. But I have a lot of goals that I want to do that are not stitching related, like super clean the house when I'm not working 2 jobs. And I do need to do some more project bags because I am woefully low. That's the word I was looking for on them. Although I did, with rearranging some things and finishing that project, I do have 2 empty ones, but they'll be taken up shortly because Fandom Stitching Central does their own version of Mania. They do May Mayhem. And so I chose the option that was 24 starts this month, rather than the traditional Mania that everybody does on Instagram. I had been talking last time about how I wasn't sure how I was going to finish up my 50 starts with going back to school in the fall. Guess what? May Mayhem kind of takes care of that for me. So I chose the option for 24 starts. I have a list, and I put them in pencil in case I needed to change anything. So all of these are ones that were already on my start list for my 50. And so let's see. Oh yes, and my non-binary zebra was finished number 7 of the year. And I am on, oh, where's my calendar? Sorry, my brain is fogging up on me. I have started 21 projects already this year, and it's May. So, let's see, the halfway point is June. I will definitely be halfway through my starts by the end of this month, if I can do all of the starts for May, which I really hope. I am not sticking to my original idea at the beginning of the year of working on it for 2 days. When I started, it's just not working with the challenges. So, adapt. Because, as my husband says, rules are fake. And, I mean, these are my rules for my hobby, so they are totally fake, and I can change them at any time I want to. My morning smoothie that my husband makes every night. My voice was getting kind of craggy. It still is a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so for May 1st, I started the planned Emerald Mermaid by Mirabilia. This is my very first Mirabilia. If I remember correctly, she's from 2004 when they were still doing the photographs. This is one that I got from my dad's mom, my paternal grandmother. When she passed, I got all of her cross-stitch stuff, all of her embroidery stuff. So, this is, I started this on May 1st. This is 2/2. There are 28 colors. And it is on 32 count Juniper by Fabrics by Stephanie. So this is, I'm counting this for Mira May, because, you know, they're really the same thing. Mirabilia and Nora are the same. So this is Mira May, this is Mermaidia, this is Mermaid May, this is May Mayhem. It counts for a lot of little hashtags. All right, so here is my start. I got in over 200 stitches. This is the beginning of her hand. I am doing the skin 1/1. I tried that on the Overlook cell and I liked it. So when I first started, when I just put in the lightest green, I was like, I'm not sure about this color, but it is kind of a bluey green. But I think it works just fine for like a tropically water situation. So, and the darker greens helped the light green pop. So not a bad start for just one day, and a day that I worked. So this is going to be beautiful, I think. The tricky part will be moving around all of the beads, because there are a lot of beads on her. Yeah, so lots of beads, but I will have leftover beads from the bead packs. I just went and got the Mill Hill regular packs. I didn't get the, excuse me, I had to rearrange. I didn't get like a pack that everything was prepared. I just went and found them. So my second new start for May started yesterday, and I still have the magazine out for taking a picture of it. I am doing Old Skully. This is art by Theo de Fantasy Dreamworld, and it is adapted for cross stitch by Le Petit Croix de Lucie. I think that's how you pronounce it. So this one, you know, I like spooky stitching, and I did the fortune teller, and it's a different artist, but for me they have a very similar vibe. So I started this yesterday before I went to work, and I worked on it last night while we were watching Joe Bob. What was it? City of the Dead. It was a 1960 British horror movie about witches, because May Day is also called Purgosnalt. I probably screwed that up, but it's a day for witches. So here is my start. I am doing it 1/2. There are a couple of blends. I don't know. I was afraid that the blend stitches will be so much thicker than the other ones that it would be really glaringly obvious, but I don't think it is. I am doing this on 40 Count Haunted by Fabrics by Stephanie. Oh, no, wait. I got that written down wrong. This is by Seraphim. This is the Seraphim Fabrics, not Stephanie. I wrote the wrong thing when I was doing it. So yes, I did it on this. This is the same fabric I used for the fortune teller, and I think that the wild, bright colors worked so well. And though they're different artists, I think they have a certain vibe together, so I am going to pair them together when I finish them. I'm not sure how I will fully finish them, but I think it's looking cool. This is the eyeballs. I'm going to come in and put the nose. So for May Mayhem, we're supposed to do 200 stitches for the most points on each of our new starts this month. And then I went, and this is also going to be one of my weeklies, because this is also one of my super who's, because Phantom Debt is doing 25 for 2025 this year. So the goal is you pick 25 projects, and on each of those projects, you're going to get 2,500 stitches. And if you finish all 25 of them, you get like bonus points. I've already finished 5, and I'm on my way with this one. I just love this fabric so much. I need more of it. Don't we say that about all of our favorite fabrics? Okay. So I almost forgot to write this one down, because I did this one on Sunday. And it, because of the way calendar's set up, because this Sunday was the last Sunday in April, it got on a different calendar page. I almost forgot to write it in. So I've been working on this. This is the second time I'm doing this one. Oh, excuse me. Flosstube knows. And I'm doing it for a friend this time. And look at this. I just have this bottom border here. There'll be some hearts, and it's supposed to look like stage light kind of stuff. And then there's a little tiny bit of back stitch here. There's supposed to be a French knot here. But what I was finding the first time I did this is that because of the size of the holes versus the one strand, I could not get the French knot to stay. It kept falling through the hole. So I said, screw it, and just got a bead to go on the bottom of the chandelier. And I'm just going to do the same thing this time. But look at him. Look at how precious. Ooh. So he is one of my 25, and I've already gotten 2,025 stitches on him. I even forgot to count some of them, and some of them skipped over, and so I'm well over because I'm supposed to stitch all this black in here, and I didn't bother. I just got black fabric, and even then I'm at a lot of stitches. So he is magnificent. Oh, and there is also a little black back stitch around his mouth and his eyes and by his feet to distinguish his feet a little bit, but not very much at all. So that is my beautiful Kermie. It is early in the morning. I have had no caffeine yet, and all I've had to drink this morning or eat this morning is my smoothie. So I probably should have gotten some water too, but I didn't. All right, my next whip for you is my Overlook Sal by Robin Allen, who now has an Etsy. Can't talk. Am I the only one that when I'm thinking I look up and like I'm looking up inside my head trying to find the information? Like I look up with my eyes and I'm like, okay, where is it? I don't know why I do it because honestly that's not how it works. But if you also do that and look into your head when you're trying to think of something, like, I don't know why, but I do. So if you ever see me doing that, it's because I'm thinking. So Etsy shop, that was the words that were stumbling out of my head. So Robin Allen now has an Etsy shop called A Stitch in My Side. That is where I purchased the It Sal. The Overlook Sal was free. I started this on July 5th in 2023. I don't even remember. I think I even found it after the Sal. No, wait. I did find it for, at least I was on time for some of them. I am doing this on 32 count Stormy Clouds Belfast linen, and it's 2/2. So last time I shared this with you, I had finished the room with Danny's tricycle. Now what I worked on this time, and it is not exciting because it's just this pale, is the background for this room. So this is, but mostly worked around the tops of the girls' heads. So I got the background done. Now I need to go in and put in their heads and their faces. This is where I first tried out the 1/1 skin. Was trying to see if I did full crosses. They're so tiny. No, I just did 10 stitches, I think. It's hard to see. Yeah, I think those are just 10 stitches. I am doing 1/1 full cross for the Mira. I think I'm going to leave it that way. I was just thinking this looks more delicate. But she's got a lot more skin. And I think it might look better if there were less chance of patchiness. All right. So next I have the Deadly Aquarium Sal by Lola Croix. I know everybody's seen this a zillion times. It is beautiful. So many people are doing it. I wish I could have enjoyed the Extraordinary Bird Sal. But it wasn't on the docket for me. Sorry, I am not as focused as usual. Well, All right. Shouldn't say I'm as focused as usual. My brain is just not retaining what's in my notes as usual. So I keep having to look back more often than normal. All right. So this was my birthday start last year. It is on 32 count Sequoia by Atomic Ranch Design or Fabrics. And this is where I'm at. It's 2/2. I finished exhibit 3. And now I've moved on. I'm working on the bird down here. I filled in some of the frame. This is going to be one of the fishies for exhibit 4. Oh, I love this so much. Look at that. When I was first putting in these colors, I was like, those look kind of just the brownie reds here. I was like, that doesn't look right. But when you get them all together, they look phenomenal. And I knew they would because I'd seen it. But I was like, this just looks off. Why does this not look as golden or as rich maroony as it did in the other people's? And it's because I didn't have the matching colors in yet. It's amazing how much putting one shade of something or a different color can change your perception of that color. It's phenomenal how much that changes. All right. Frogworks, Black Needle Society. I am working on year 2 at the moment. This was, I used it for, or I should say I am using it for one of my weekly prompts. And I'm going to pin the massiveness of it behind it so you get a little bit. So, there's a little bit of tree in there. I think that was there last time. So I'm working down here in my etoile to get the enemies in there for the basilisk. That's what I felt like working on. I'm not quite finished with the weekly challenge that this is for, but I wanted to work on something that wasn't my new start after I finished my required stitches for the Emerald Mermaid. And so here we go. Just got a few letters in. I will be working on this some more because I didn't finish my 200 stitches for the weekly. So yeah, I've got to finish year 5 and get the footprints in for here. I still have to frog these. These I double checked against both the top and the bottom, so those are right, but these are wrong, and they go all the way over here, and I just haven't felt like it. And the ones up top are right because I rechecked them based on positioning here. And I need to at least get enough in for making sure I have the right space for year 6, which will start on June 30th. We'll have our starting event, and then if you finish it during the retreat, you get a bunch of bonus points. I'm hoping to do that this year, so from like June 30th to the end of Frogworks, I will have no new starts because I'll be at the retreat, and my goal is to work on every prompt with that unless it absolutely doesn't match. I might work on one of the other sections too. I don't think I'm going to do the scroll frame. I'm thinking that would take longer to adjust it than it would to leave it in a hoop for the retreat. If you have any thoughts on that, please let me know. If you think it'd be easier to, well, you think you have to unscrew and then roll it, get it tight again, screw it. And I don't have a good stand for a scroll frame, so I think it would be easier just to put it in the hoop. So for right now, that's my plan. All right. That was started on June 30th of last year when I did my first start for, can you see the kitty tail? No, you stay out of the presents for the kiddo. You stay. You made me knock her keychain down, you turkey. You can't get in her bag though. All right. That was that was 36 count unstonewashed by Seraphim. Plans. I am still trying to get a hold of my advisors at college to try to make sure I know what classes I need to take, and I've got to get a hold, I haven't gotten to this yet, but get a hold of the finance department and see what I can do about helping pay for it. There have been tons of cuts to aid for college. They're cutting grants. They're changing the way accreditation for colleges work. There's a whole lot of mess going on. So it will be interesting, and also the way student loans work, and I really don't want to take out more student loans, especially in the current climate. But the good news is going back to school will mean the interest stops on my current student loans, unless the current administration changes that, which they might, because they're getting rid of all the, they're getting rid of a bunch of the income-based payment plans. So everybody's expected to have their cost go up for your monthly payments. And I can tell you, even with the income-based replacement plan, most people can't afford the payments that they say. And some people's payments are expected to go up to 350, 400%. So yay. So maybe I can just delay. And they're also getting rid of like a lot of the forbearance options to delay a payment when you can't afford it. So they're going to start docking people's pay if they are behind on their student loans. So I am very nervous about going back financially, but it should help me out because while you're in school, the interest on your loan stops. At least it's supposed to. Sorry, the kitty is demanding chin scratches. Yes, you are. You love. So I'm not going to have any new starts today. When we go to visit the kid, I'm going to take Shawshank Redemption. I still haven't gotten an order for that, but I would like to finish it up, and it fits one of the challenges. And then I am going to take... Oh, wait, I forgot one. I forgot Mothra. I had worked on it a little bit since I showed it to you last. Now I have a kitty in my lap. So I'm going to do it like this. So this is by Hexed Stitchcraft. I am doing a test stitch of their Mothra design for them. And it's not a huge amount. So I started that on the 28th. And it's on 14 count DMC, their Sandstorm printed fabric. So that is my other thing I'm taking to the kiddos because 14 count and 11 count are super easy, even not in the best light. And with the Shawshank, I probably won't even have to look at the pattern that much because I've done it 20-something times. What else is on the docket? I'm going to continue to do my May Mayhem / Mania. I got 2 done. I already talked about that. It's a great way for me to make sure I get to all my 50 starts for school. Sorry, I can only do that one-handed when the kitty's laying on my arm next to my nose. There are less than 20 days of school left. I will get a week. The first Monday in June, I have a workshop day that's half day. It's just a day to get your grades in, clean up your room, things like that. Excuse me, I noticed my glasses are bugging me. They're dirty and I'm seeing specks because of it, and I didn't notice it before. If you have glasses, you shall understand. Sometimes the dots sneak up on you. So then on the Tuesday after we get out of school, I have a meeting for summer school. I will get the rest of that week off, and then I will be doing 2 sessions of summer school. So summer school is very short. So I'm doing session 1, and then I'm doing session 3. And the first 2 days of session 3 are no, wait, not the first 2 days. So there would be 2 days of summer school, then Frogwarts would start. And I mean, it's just from like Wednesday to Sunday. So I would only miss 2 days for summer school. And they are like, hey, we've had staffing change. You want to get this? And I'm like, yeah, just to let you know, I already have commitment for these dates where I have, and they're like, oh yeah, people are lined up to sub. They just don't want to teach summer school every day. I'm like, oh, okay. But I mean, I'm willing to take it, but just letting you know, I'm going to be out these 2 days. And they were fine with that. I'm continuing to do Whip Go. I still have 1 day on Cliffhanger from April. One of the calls today was to fully finish something, which I did with the non-binary zebra. I was going to say that was an easy one, but after this morning, I thought, I've got to do at least another FFO because that's just an easy no-brainer button making thing. I destroyed 3 of my button things and frayed the fabric. And yeah, it was not as much of a no-brainer as I thought it was going to be. Last time it was a no-brainer. It was super easy. I would show you again, but the cat knocked it down onto the floor I have like a little sewing machine table that I use as an end table because I got it for free. Somebody put it out on the curb. It's one from like the 50s or 60s that you fold the machine out and it's got the cord, but the cord's frayed and I haven't gotten it fixed, and I already have a sewing machine that works. I really need to strip it down and redo the finish on the wood because it's really more of an end table. I just like having an antique sewing machine. And unfortunately, I did not get my grandmother's push pedal sewing machine or the china cabinet. But, c'est la vie. So, I've done my FFO, so technically that Whip Go goal is done. I might do another fully finished object just because I still have the frame for my curse project, and I haven't decided how I'm going to handle that, if I'm going to take out the glass, what I'm going to do. I'm still contemplating how I exactly want to do that. And then I will be working for May Whip Go on my wisdom stocking for 2 days. I don't have any haul. I'll just have lots of new finishes every week for the month, and that's okay. So yeah. How did I drag this out for 31 minutes? There has not been that many projects. Oh, squirrels, brain not working, those kind of things, yeah. So I'd love to hear what you're working on. I probably wouldn't start it this year, and I don't think I'm going to do any new starts next year. I think I'm going to focus on getting my whip count down next year. I've already reached Sable, but who cares? I'm going to do what makes me happy, what helps me keep my sanity. I did check on my eye medicine, my new eye medicine, and apparently it's because it's to stop me from hemorrhaging. None of the meds, they consider it too dangerous for me to donate plasma. Apparently they think it'll cause me to hemorrhage if I'm on anti-hemorrhaging medication. They did talk about when I started there was a slight risk of that happening, but I'm serious. The only place that it would be possible would be in my eyeball. It's not. And I'm on medicine to prevent it, so I won't be able to donate plasma for extra money. I was really hoping that maybe I could, and then I could stop working a second job. But it's okay. I will keep doing what I need to do. I was especially hoping that would be the case with going back to school. But it is not. So that is off the table for the rest of my life since I have to get shots. So the only thing left to share with you is shout-outs. I'm going to move my notes up into my lap so I'm not looking off to the right all the time. All right, so new to me Flosstubers. Catherine Stitches. I learned of her through Stuart and Stitches. She is Irish. She has tons of cute projects, adorable cats. New stitcher. Hasn't been stitching long. I don't even think she's been stitching a year if I remember what she said. And she has totally jumped in with both feet, like Flosstube, full coverage, just going full for it all the way. It took me a lot of time to get that many projects going at once, but going for it, and that's awesome. I caught up with Stitching with the Griffin this week. She just usually works on a few projects. She's got a long dog on the go, and she's working on a nursery design that's like farm animals and stuff. It's very cute, very not, well, I guess I can say vintage, because I think vintage, the definition of vintage is 25 years, and it's like from the 90s or the late 80s. I can't remember what she said. And then Akio Whip, Erica and Kevin. Another fun video, great project as always, and I hope to meet them at Frogwarts this year. I was hoping to do that last year, but Erica got sick, and so they didn't really participate in any of the chats. And then another new Flosstuber, Kitty the Selkie Stitcher. She's brand new to Flosstube, has one video up. Great projects, very friendly. Nervous as we all are when we start. I still get nervous. But I try to remind myself that Flosstube is just a way to hang out with my stitchy friends asynchronously. And I'm still hoping like to continue to grow friendships through the stitchy community. I'm an introvert. I'm on the spectrum. This is not an easy thing for me to do. So with my social anxiety, it's actually sometimes easier to hang out with people like this, because then I'm not worried about stepping on top of them when they're talking. I tend to get things pop in my head and I say them quickly, because if I don't, they pop back out and I don't remember them. So it can be a little bit awkward. I get really nervous. I'm much better at like a crafty event, because then you're crafty and you have something else to do, and then you can just quietly listen, and it feels less awkward to do that, because I can tend to do two things in social situations. I'd either into one, get so nervous that I word vomit and I talk the entire time, or too much, or two, I get so nervous I shut up and I don't say anything. So if you've got a stitchy project, it's not weird for you to go quiet for a little while, you know? And it helps me have a place to put my nervous energy, so I blurt less, or all of those fun things that come with social anxiety and introvertedness and autism. So, yeah. So this is, in a way, less social pressure. I feel it's interesting. I feel a lot less nervous now. Maybe it's just the practice. But I still get nervous, and some days it's more nerve-wracking than others. I frequently have too much to do, so sometimes I feel like I have overcommitted myself. But I don't want to give up the things that I enjoy because of that overcommitment. And so sometimes that makes things a little bit tricky, because I want to do the things like film Flosstube, but I don't always have the mental or emotional energy, and sometimes I try to force myself to do it, and that doesn't usually work very well. But it's okay. I am finding the no editing route pretty helpful in that regard. So I will do some editing on some, but I'm not going to do editing on every video. So you're just going to get the raw me. And if you like it, stick around. If you don't, plenty of other Flosstubers. I just ask that you be kind. I do enjoy, I didn't say enjoy, because my trauma doesn't let me enjoy it, but I do welcome constructive criticism. And please like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things. I hope you have a wonderful week. May today be kinder to you than yesterday, and tomorrow be kinder to you than today. See you later. Bye.